again.
Hey guys, so I am super excited about being able to share what we do. Everybody asks me, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I can show you. It's much easier than telling you. We have all kinds of different training programs. I'm going to pass this out because it's actually a grab one and pass it on. Grab one and pass it on. Share the rest. Since my printer went down, I got issues. Anyway, we provide training services to companies, to individuals throughout the country. We've traveled for the last 20 years doing trainings of all different types. We're very rare in the fact that we offer soft skill training and technical training. So we've got a Microsoft arm of our company as well as the leadership and communication courses. But our programs are all designed and built on the foundation of your authentic self. We provide training and development services to help our clients build their skills on the foundation of their authentic self. Various programs. The Connect to You is what I'm going to cover right now. But we've got Connect to Yourself, Mission Vision Training. I'm super excited. In January, I'm rolling out a brand new program called Hello. And it's an 8-week personal transformation program designed for women. So you help you find the season, a reason for every season in your life. The Connect to Each Other, our Colorful Connections program is our most popular one. The youngest students that I ran through this were 8th graders in Grants Pass, and they loved it. I was crazy enough to do the entire student body in Cave Junction, and we had 900 students, and it was too wild and crazy. I've never attempted that again. But they had fun, and I still see these kids years later, and they're all, you know, mid-20s coming up to me and going, "You're the color lady, you're the color lady," which sounds really almost racist. But you know, we teach people how to read each other's personality, and for people coming into their first job, this is a huge step up in learning their skills. And then we've got, like I said, the Microsoft arm, which I don't teach. I hired a fabulous trainer to replace my husband. Kevin's out of Seattle, and we've got some brand new programs in these flyers. If you'll grab one of these on your way out, it's got our 2023, we do it all on Zoom training. Before I share with you this program, though, we have to come to an agreement. Would you agree with this? There's no such thing as a weird human being. It's just some of them need more understanding than others. Who do we label as weird? People we don't understand. People that are different from us, right? We're our own measuring stick. We walk around and decide normal and not normal, right? This gets us into all kinds of trouble. And one of the things that that Carl Jung said in his work was the personalities cause all kinds of problems. All kinds of conflicts happen just simply from being different. Have you ever noticed that most conflicts are personality based? We don't like the way that other person said hello. We don't like the way they dress. We don't like the way they talk too much. You know, so our Colorful Connections program is a non-assessment based program. So we're not going to send you out to a website, have you answer all these questions and get a report all about you. Because frankly, you know you. And if you don't, we've got personal transformation programs that will help you figure out you. But the fact is, we're in this world with all these people. And it's how do you get along with the people that you're working with and living with that make the difference in your life, whether you're having a good life or a bad life. It all boils down to relationships. And so what we were looking for was a program that you could, in the moment, read somebody and then adjust their your communication so you would have better communication and higher success rate. This branching chart was designed, oh gosh, about 20 years ago, from with my husband when he was trying to explain to a manager, how do you read somebody in the moment and adjust your approach? There's got to be a system to it. And he said, yeah, it's really easy. It's a 2-point read. So this square right there, and it doesn't laser point on a TV. That square is a person. It might be somebody you know really well. It might be somebody you just met. But when you meet them, and if you got pens, you can write it down. I should have brought a box of pens. You will notice that either have an engaging personality or they have a reserved personality. This isn't rocket science. We do it naturally. What does engaging sound like? Put a pen up here too. Anybody need a pen? What does engaging sound like?
Hi, Mary.
Yay!
How are you?
I appreciate it. I think I got your pen sitting up here. That's engaging. Well, if you're an engaging person and you don't get any engagement back from that other person who's reserved, what does that voice inside your head start saying? Don't like them. They're stuck up. They think they're better than I am. My thing is, I used to try to fun them up. You know, those people that wouldn't talk to you, I figured, you know, if I talked more, they would like me, you know, eventually, right? And so the more I talked, guess what happened? Go away, crazy lady. What do you want from me? I don't trust you, right? And so when I saw this, it was like, quit trying to fun them up. They're not broken, Mary. So my tip there is, if you need to connect somebody and you're an engaging person and they're not, slow down. Put space between the notes, right? And if you're a reserved person, you need to connect somebody who's engaging, guess what? Pick it up. And that's harder, I think, actually. I really do. The second read is, how does that person make their decision? And it really boils down to, are they making their decision with their head or their heart? We have two dual processors going on all the time. So we're going to follow their engaging branch. You find a driven, engaging personality style out there, and I bet you've all met them. Or a cheerful, bouncy one. Oh, look, bunnies, right? Driving, we call direct red. The cheerful, we call a dynamic yellow. These two can get a lot done if they're rowing the boat in the same direction. They have a tendency, though, to irritate each other. Because one of them uses a shotgun approach, and one of them uses a laser approach, right? One of them talks a lot, and the other one's quiet. Doesn't want to talk about anything except for business. One of them's very direct and to the point, and the other one's bouncy and happy. If you can get them rowing the boat, though, they can get a lot done because they're both super high energy. Now, on the reserve flip side, you've got a warm, caring, empathic, and a cool, analytical. You can hear it in the tone. So the warm we call caring green. They care about everybody and everything. When they talk to you, it sounds like you're getting a hug. The blue, the analytical, detailed blue, my dad, the engineer, measure twice, cut once. They invented email so they wouldn't have to talk to all of us. And so I'm so thankful I didn't have email growing up, because it was hard enough to have a conversation with my dad. And we still have this problem today, because he doesn't email me. He calls me and then expects me to not talk. Why'd you call? But can you see yourself in all four of those places? See, this is the thing I get really ticked about with those personality assessments that put you in a box and say, you're always like this. No, I'm not. Sometimes I'm like that. And sometimes I'm over here. We were looking for something that you could read in the moment and adjust your approach. Plus, if you know you're working on things, you can change your own personality style based on what you're working on. If you're good at it, if you're bouncy and happy going into math class, guess what? Your math teacher's not going to be happy with you. So you're going to have to learn to slow down and connect to your introverted side. And it's doable. Down at the bottom of the box, down at the bottom of that page, there's a box. And in it, yours doesn't show the union attributes, so I thought I would lay those to you. Up at the top, I've got the thinking styles. So the detailed blue and the direct red are thinking energy. They make their decision with their head. Versus the caring green and the dynamic yellow, who use their heart to make their decision. The extroverted energy, the yellow and the blue, or yellow and red, are faster paced. They make their decision while processing, typically out loud, where the introverted style, the blue and the green, process internally. That's why they don't engage right away, because they're thinking or they're feeling, or they're thinking about how they're feeling. But let me ask you, what do you think the strength of the direct red is? Anyone?
Getting it done.
Bingo. That's their motto, right? Get it done. They're very direct and to the point, so you know where they stand. Guess what the downside of that is? Sometimes mistakes, going too fast, right? Forgot to dot a couple of I's, big deal. Get over it. And they have blinders on. They don't always see the big picture because they're laser focused on getting that, whatever that is. And they've been accused of running over top of people. And their thing is, well, either move faster or get out of my way, you know, because they don't base it on their heart. What do you think the gift of the yellow is?
Connectivity.
They're super connectors, right? They want to make friends with everybody, right? They also are way out of the box thinkers. So if you need creativity, you've got it in yellow. Guess what the downside of that is?
You don't always get to the end.
Squirrel.
and you know, that project's going on. They don't like details, so they'll leave things unfinished. If it gets hard, they're like, nah, go do something else. And they'll start some project over here, right? They talk people into doing things that you don't even want to do, right? And when you're busy doing it, where are they? Start another project, right? Nowhere to be found. What do you think the gift of the caring green is?
They think of all the angles and, you know,
At the people level.
yeah, at the people level.
They are relationship queens. They think about, if this happens, this happens. If this happens, this happens. How will that make people feel? They want things to be fair. They also throw themselves under the bus for the organization often, saying things like, it's okay, I'll take care of it. You guys go grab coffee, I'll answer the phones. You come back, you're all having a good time. You didn't bring them coffee, they're crushed. Because if you would have done it for them, they would have brought you coffee and a cupcake to tell you thank you. And if you ever bring them a cupcake, what do? Cut it into a million pieces and share it with everybody, right? Detail blue, they dot the I's, they cross the T's, they build process, they see cause and effect better than any of the other personality styles, and they don't always say things. Because they don't want to be wrong, and we move too fast in this culture. So oftentimes blue energy doesn't get appreciated the way that it should, because we do need people in our organizations dotting the I's and crossing the T's and building the process. But the reds are like, oh, hey, come on, let's go. So every culture brings their own preferred personality style. Every generation has different personality styles that they are rewarded for, which is kind of interesting, because have you noticed that what are they called? The older generation and the younger generation are kind of bonding, because those generations appreciate the same things. We have a lot of introverted kids. We have a lot of kids that are thinkers, right? We have a lot of the detailed blue in our children because they've been doing computers and not interacting at a social level. And that older generation is also that way, because they were taught to think and work things through and work alone a lot. So it's kind of interesting. You guys ready to do your own assessment?
Sure.
Flip it over to the next page on the flip side. There's a target there, and we're going to stay right there.
I know I am.
You're already jigging. Yeah. So let me ask you, how are you energized? Do you like things quiet? Are you observant, more reserved, cautious? Do you like things in depth? Or are you more talkative, involved, outspoken, bold? Do you like to take action? So the question is, using that horizontal line, are you introverted or extroverted? And it's a continuum. So put your X where you are if you were going to average your life.
You got the extra time.
Oh, I did. Here you go.
And don't overthink it. I know you guys are.
Yeah.
Good first
Don't make it too hard, because we don't got a lot of time.
Yes, you are.
And there's no wrong decision, because you can be any of the four. So, next question. How do you make your decisions? Do you use facts and data and logic? Do you like to analyze things? Or are you more gut instinct, intuition? Personally, I need a little bit of information, but I'm going to leap probably before the net appears. I hope it shows up. I bring people into my life that analyze things, so I let them do that, because they kick out of it. So everybody got next? Guess what we're gonna do now? Like battleship. Or, remember the Peaches? Yes. Well, they're coordinates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it should put you in a quadrant. And the next thing I'm gonna do is tell you to forget where you plotted. Because we're gonna look at words.
Okay.
So we're taking a full day workshop and throwing it into like 30 minutes. So here we go. Which, and you have to take them as a set, which box of words best describes you? Are you more competitive, demanding, determined, strong-willed, and purposeful? Or are you more social, dynamic, demonstrative, enthusiastic, persuasive, caring, encouraging, sharing, patient, and relaxed, cautious, precise, deliberate, questioning, and thoughtful? So there's square boxes outside of those words, those quadrants, and I'd like you to put in number 1 and where you see yourself. Then it's easier for me to think of who I'm not. So put your 4. What least describes you? And then the 2 and the 3. Some people are really hyper-focused on their personality style, meaning they have a really, I've got a friend of mine that has so little anything other than yellow, it's not funny. I mean, she's like the queen of yellow. She has a little bit of everything else. Some people have some so close you can't hardly even tell, what they are because they go back and forth so much. And that's what those personality assessments are. When you take those personality assessments, it gives you a percent of what you are. But our thinking is it doesn't matter, because if you are 99.9% of the time in yellow and that one itsy bitsy moment in time you're blue, guess what? You need to be treated differently. And so does the people you work with, so do your customers. When you get good with this stuff, you don't even have to think about it. It's just natural. Now you did it with Rob in a longer version.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. So do you remember your color?
It was the same.
Yeah.
Yellow.
Yeah. That's what I figured. Does anybody have any questions? This moment.
Great question.
Okay.
So, if you play kind of in the center, right? You could be in any one of the 4 boxes at any one time.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make you easier to relate to or harder to read?
It is. That's a great. Here, I'm going to give you that bigger stack. And then to answer your question, let me grab a couple more of those. To answer your question, it makes you adaptable to other people. I don't know if it means we'll pass more. They're all the same. You're what we call an adapter, so you're able to go to any of them, and it is harder for other people to read. But there's no magic wand to make anybody different. So you adapting to them is probably the best. Is you can't make somebody be different. So as long as you're adapting to them and it's not causing you stress.
Just have to
Yeah. Everybody got one of those? Roland, if you guys just stack up the extras, that'd be great. So I have a Reader's Digest version of it. A friend of ours, Tony Alessandro, wrote a program called the Platinum Rule, and he wrote a book. It's very popular. He says, communicate with others the way they want to be communicated with, right? So just in a nutshell, fast and efficient with red, fun and interactive with yellow, warm and caring with green, and non-emotional with all the facts for blue. That just that is enough. But the card that I gave you, the Adapting and Connecting Quick card, has the branching chart on one side, and then it has the do's and don'ts, the communication style, on the other side, and the motto and the union preference on it. If you spend some time studying that, and like I said, it's not rocket science. Some people learn this naturally. Other people stumble over it their entire lives. But I encourage you to play with that. Now the next question is going to be running you through a real quick test. Check my time. Ooh, no, we're not going to do that. Okay, I want to show you the stress. Because the next target, we're not going to do the hula hoop either. Oh, we can watch that. We have enough time for that.
Yeah.
Whoops. Other place. Go back. I love that one.
That was an overreaction.
I love it. That's when Andy got sent to anger management class. So I want to talk about stress because we're going right into the holidays, and so we'll go through that and then let it go. But I want to ask you what stress looks like in you. And so there's a circle on the outside of that target. I'm going to pop those words up there again and ask you, what's your number one? Do you go aggressive, controlling, pushing, intimidating, forceful, or do you go frantic, edgy, indiscreet, jumpy, and seek attention? Are you stuck, stubborn, slow down, sad, mumble to yourself? Are you stuffy, indecisive, suspicious, and cold, and reserved? What are you all thinking? It depends on what the stress is, right? So my number one is usually red. And I hate myself when I go into red because I'm the word that rhymes with witch. And I call myself that because I push harder to get things. You know why? Because when you're stressed in red, you're not getting things done. And so your goals aren't being met. So you push, square peg, round hole, bam, hit it hard, and it will go through, right? It's not a fun place to be. I usually try to warn people. The other one, unfortunately, my number two is yellow. When I want attention and I haven't gotten attention, when I'm not being appreciated and valued as part of the team, I kind of have a meltdown like a 2-year-old. And I warn people ahead of time, hey, I need this, and if you're not paying attention, pretty soon you got a temper tantrum. Very rarely do I go to blue, but the green, you can tell when green is under stress, they mumble. And they mumble over things that are not fair. If you hear people mumbling, chances are it's green stress. Could be blue, but chances are it's green stress. You people aren't fair. You people are so mean. And that really is because they don't feel things are fair. They feel ran over and not heard. Blue energy, you can feel it if you're feeling energy. Their wall goes up. Behind their wall, they're saying, you people are idiots. You don't know what you're doing. Anybody could have seen that one coming a mile away. But no, you guys didn't follow any of the advice I gave you. Just go do whatever you do. You want me to fix it. That's where you hear the mumbling from them. I got to fix it again because you people don't follow the rules. God, if I could get a penny for every time I heard that from my parents. So just under stress, red is about not getting things done. Yellow is about teamwork. Green is about treating people fairly. Blue is about process. If you're not doing all those things, I also have the bonus gift of these, which are, they look the same, but they're different. So don't get them mixed up. These are stress. The cool thing about this is you can take all of this stuff into, we're not going to do that communication exercise or this one, but we play all kinds of games with our programs. We talk about what it looks like on teams when you don't have the personality styles all showing.
No results.
Right? No results. Yeah, without red. You know what? Without red, yellow's all having a good time. Green's singing Kumbaya, getting in touch with their feelings, and blue's analyzing things to death. They need that red energy to say, let's go get this done.
Yeah.
But without, so the unfortunate thing is if you have too much red, there's nobody following you. And so you're the Lone Ranger up there. We do a team assessment. We do pacing exercises. And basically, I just want to say, thanks, guys. It's been fun. If you know anybody that could use this stuff, let me know. I'd love to do more work here instead of having to hit the road all the time. Thanks for letting me have this opportunity.
Mary,
Yes.
you get one of our pens.
Oh, wow. I've wanted one forever. Thank you.
That's pretty. So this I will say, Mary's a testament. This education that I received from my college fraternity, believe it or not, in Snowbird, Utah in 2001 shaped my entire adulthood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it ours?
No,
Okay.
but it taught me about myself, and I cried. And I'm like, whoa, no shit. Which color am I, guys? So, Mary, thank you. I think that'd be neat to get in front of Key Club somehow.
I'm going to
Yeah,
approach
would.
Key Club with it because it's,
Yeah,
it's
really good.
life-changing.
Yeah,
Because one of the things that's really interesting is opposites typically attract,
Yep.
and then we hurt each other. Like every boyfriend I ever had was probably blue. I ran over top of them all the time.
Well, and seriously, if you're still in an employed situation with team of any size, these type of things are just amazing for helping a team, get along better, even if they already get along,
Yeah.
Chris?
Something I'd like to point out is that when you're doing this entire presentation, the 40-year-old me is much different than the 80-year-old me. Things have changed as you progress.
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's good or bad, but this has changed.
Yeah.
Well, I think in what Jung says is we return more to ourselves, our natural self. Because the world tells us how we're supposed to be. In the United States, we're rewarded for being red. In Japan, you're not. In Mexico, you're not. So, I mean, it's just kind of interesting to see different cultures, too.
Yeah.
I noticed that with the Native American culture I work with compared to the other cultures.
Yeah, they're very caring and green. They're more in touch with.
Yeah, they did this for our leadership team, and it was super impressive. I mean, people that you sometimes butt heads with, you realize, oh, they're red, I'm yellow. We could really get something done if we could work together. So anyways, really good. And then just the second thing, if you can help on Friday morning, please do stay for a few minutes. We're going to just go, put our event together real quick. It shouldn't take long.
Okay. Thank you all. Go forth and prosper.